I'll just let you know what we do here. What I do is I set the timer for 15 minutes, and then I just have a chat about something. In particular, usually I pick a topic and I post it. And so while I'm talking about what I'm talking about, I say, okay, ready, set, go. And then you go off and you do your thing. Get working on whatever it is that you can work on during the time that I'm talking. If you can't do it right now, then you could always come back and say, oh, well, I know Kathy has this going on. So you could come back and say, all right, as soon as she says ready, set, go, I'm going to get up and do something. Maybe the dishes, maybe get yourself ready in the morning, maybe getting dinner ready, vacuuming, whatever it is that you've got to get happening, laundry, anything like that. And then I say, okay, time's up. And then you find out how much you got done at that amount of time, because we love to be happy while we're doing stuff, because our personality is, if it's not fun, we don't want to do it. I'm going to say ready, set, go, and then I'm going to read a question that was written by Alicia. Did I say your name right? And I'll answer it. Ready, set, go. 15 minutes on the clock, okay? All right, so Alicia said, love your hair. Thank you. Kathy, what do I do when I have these papers, but it's part of the guest house that I lost due to COVID? It's extremely emotional and all the memories coming with it. How do I just start? How do I get over this stupid sadness and start sorting it out? I mean, it's just papers and documents. I don't want to leave this mess for my kids or my husband. How do I just do it and not get too emotional about stupid papers? Well, one of the reasons that we avoid papers is because they are normally attached with emotion. And I'm really sorry for what happened during this time for you. I don't know exactly what happened, but I know that COVID was more than just an illness for the body. It was an illness for so many other reasons. And it's affected so many of us in so many ways. Part of it was financial, part of it was emotional, part of it was physical. All of it was devastating. If it wasn't for COVID, even without that circumstance, papers are emotional. That's why we leave the piles and we don't want to look at them. Usually it has some sort of attachment with bills that have to be paid that, I guess, if we had the money for it, we wouldn't be avoiding them. Maybe a car accident that was had, a divorce that you're going through, physical things, health issues that you're getting notifications about, hospital bills. Normally these papers that we are not looking at, it's because there's something about them that triggers something that we would rather avoid. And so we avoid them. In the meantime, though, it ain't going away. And we know it, right? Eventually, we do have to dig into there. We do have to get into it. And here, one of the questions she said, or one of the statements she said was, I don't want to leave this mess for my kids or my husband, because as she's aware, as we all are aware, we don't last forever, but our stuff will. The mess that we have laying around can last forever. And so in this particular talk that we have, it's strictly about papers. Now, first, I will say, here's the best way to deal with papers. We're going to take the emotion out of it right now. All right. I'm just going to give you the best way to talk about papers. I actually have a little mini course on this. I'm going to put it up on my site that anybody could have. I'll put some sort of price on it and you could have it. It'll be in your library and you could have it forever. It also deals with old school papers, there's a lot of people still that really like to hold on to papers. What do we do with those? If you're part of my course, Tidy Tutor University, now known as the Tidy Tutor Masterclass, it all goes into that in our second session when we're talking about decluttering, and it's all included in there. But here, I'll give you a little synopsis, all right? And this will definitely help you right here and right now. Whatever papers you have, don't think too much about it, all right? Don't think too much about it. Wrap up the papers. Get a box. I love, love, love Apple boxes. You can get them at any produce store. They work beautifully. If you, because it's a box in a box, they're very sturdy. They're really stackable. They're free. You can go to any produce store, any produce section of a grocery store and tell them you really would love to have some apple boxes. They might try to give you banana boxes. They're not the same thing. You want apple boxes. And then a lot of times they'll say, well, we already crushed our boxes. And then you say, can I come back tomorrow? What time do you crush your boxes? They'll say, we crush them at, say, 10 a.m. You say, okay, I'll be here at 9. Can you please put some aside for me? Just take 3. It's really easy to take 3 away because one box, here's one box, and then another one goes in it this way, and the other one goes on top of it. So you can walk out with 3 boxes easily. Oh, or you could use... say the like banker boxes, that'll be okay too, all right, for papers. So you wrap up a pile of papers and you name the pile. We all know our piles of papers. Oh, the divorce papers are on the kitchen counter. Oh, that accident that I had, yeah, that stuff is on the end table in the living room. Oh my gosh, all those hospital bills, they're in the bedroom on the dresser, right? We know what our piles are, right? Or there could be just some that you just were having a really bad time financially or something, and there was mail that just kept coming in and you weren't opening it, and you're like, it's on the counter. Honestly, if you could go paperless if you can. They'd love that because they save so much money, every company, because they don't have to mail them out. You can just call up any company and say, could you please put me on paperless? And then you have to just make a little account and it goes there. If you want to, you could print out the first page because everything else is filler anyway. If you want to have that, that's in my little mini course that you could have how to deal with that. But we're just going to deal with the papers that you have all around that are emotional, okay? So name the pile. So let's say you have a kitchen counter pile. Put a rubber band around it or a twine, yarn, anything that will hold it together, and then name it. Write on a little scrap piece of paper, kitchen counter, stick it in there. If you have one that you know this is all divorce papers, then you could write divorce on it. You know, everything in there. Every time maybe you got a letter from a lawyer or something and you took it and you just, and you know, maybe you dealt with others, but the lawyer papers you threw on a counter, or the medical bills you threw on a counter, or you threw it aside. So you know, all right, these are all the medical bills. These are all the foreclosure bills, foreclosure notices, whatever. You can name it exactly what it is if you know that. If you don't know that, just name it where it was. Kitchen counter, bedroom dresser, dining room table, all of that, okay? So, now take those piles, put them in that box, right? In that that Apple box or in that banker's box, put it in the box, and then you're going to want to make sure you know where you keep in that box. So I can't get all into this in just 15 minutes. So just put it somewhere where you'll remember. We have a method that we use to know where things are and to schedule it in to actually get to those things. But like I said, we have 15 minutes and we only have 7 minutes left. So put it aside somewhere where you know where it is. And then make a commitment to yourself that maybe every day for 5 minutes, you're just going to go into that box, grab one of those packages of papers. One of the beautiful things about this is once you do this, you can go around the entire house and get it all, and then you don't see it anymore. And it's contained. You feel in control because there's a plan. So you take out that one little packet of papers, set a timer for 5 minutes, and go through it. I can promise you that what is scary between our ears is so much bigger than what is reality. Once you face something, I've been through this. We've all been through this. Once you face something, all of a sudden it's not so hard anymore. So that's how you're going to do it. You asked me how, that's how. Okay. Now, as far as the emotional part of it, like how you're going to push through and do it anyway, This is something I learned from Michael Singer. He's the author of The Surrender Experiment and The Untethered Soul, 2 really great books. And then also there's something that I learned many years ago called Theophostic. It's like a Christian Theophostic kind of ministry where Theo means God. I forget what the heck Phostic means, but it's like you face whatever it is that you're afraid of. And this goes right along with the Michael Singer teachings or philosophy, whatever, is that you face whatever it is that you're afraid of. Because I'll just go in with the Michael Singer thing. It makes so much sense when you listen, okay? Whatever it is that is out there that is fearful, hurtful, bothers us, triggers us, hurt us in any possible way, we don't want to deal with it. So when it comes to us, we want to push it away. Oh, I'm not going to think about that. Oh, I'm not going to do anything about that. But in reality, that's not what's happening. You are thinking about it. You can't push it away. We can just pretend to, you know? And then what he talks about is that it gets stuck in there. He's a yoga guy, and this is, they call it samskara, something like that. It's called a samskara. Now, I'm extremely a Christian person. I can learn from other things, especially, well, always, when they line up with what God says. It's just who I am. It's what I really love. Everybody's inclusive here, but I'm just letting you know where I'm coming from, okay? So you have this pain. There's a verse in the Bible that says, we are wounded in the spirit. That means that we could look just fine walking around, but in the spirit, we're in a wheelchair, we got a crutch, or we're paralyzed based on what's happening to us in the spirit. So you have something that hurt you. Let it come and then just observe it. Just observe it. Allow yourself to see what it is. Don't deny it, right? We don't want to deny it because it's not going to go away. This is what's going on. I lost an earring, didn't I? Mm-hmm. We know that this is what's going on. This thing has happened. So let it come in, accept it, see it, allow it to be there. It's there anyway, right? And then you be the observer of the thought, right? We are the thinker of our thoughts. We're not our thoughts. I think it was Kenneth Hagin that said, we can't stop a bird from landing on our head, but we can stop it from making a nest there. So we don't have to meditate on that issue. You know, if you have a God in your life, if you believe in God, you can ask him, help me through this. Heal me of this, because that's what we need. We need healing. You know, I was in a car accident that broke me. My jaw was broken in a few spots. My shoulder was crushed. My left hip was crushed. My left femur was broken. My right foot was completely crushed. I think that was the whole part of me, right? That had all of those broken bones and stuff. And the thing is that right now, do I have any pain? No. Why? Because I was healed. Once we're healed of something, once the healing comes, the pain was there, but it goes away when we're healed. So if we allow ourselves to let the time go by where the healing has to occur. Like if I would have just kept using my arm or kept trying to walk on my foot, I would absolutely never, ever, ever, ever have been healed. They had to wrap it up. They had to cast it. My left femur had to get surgery on it. I have screws in there. They had to wire my jaw shut. All of these things had to happen so that the healing could take place. It wasn't in ignoring it. If it was in the ignoring it, I would still be broken and there would still be pain. So it feels so counterintuitive to allow that pain to come. Here's how Michael Singer gives analogy, which is excellent. He says, There are dogs that have collars on that are like a little tiny electric current that goes off there if they get close to a fence. This is not going to kill them, and it doesn't hurt all that much. It's just a little twinge of a ouch, I don't like that. The dogs don't realize that there's freedom just beyond the pain. Just beyond that fence, there is freedom there. There's no fence up. It's electronic. There's nothing there. They don't know any better. And it's the same thing for us with pain. Yeah, it hurts. So what do? Oh, I can't deal with that. Oh, no, I won't go there. Just past the pain is where freedom is. Talk to God. Ask him to help you through it. Accept. This is what happened. I need healing. And then that word forgiveness, it means to let it go. It doesn't mean that what you did was okay, that what you did was acceptable. And it doesn't mean that what you did, whoever that was, that hurt you, whatever that situation is would hurt you, that now you have to be in my life from now on. If it is a specific person, I'm going to stop this. Okay, so we'll wrap it up. We did 15 minutes. Let me know what you did during this time, okay? So it doesn't mean that this problem doesn't still hurt me. It doesn't mean that I have to receive this forever, these big pack of papers that are grievous to me. It means that I have to let go of the attachment to this, because we sit around with baggage all over the place. And so we're going through this life in the flesh looking like we're walking just fine. But in the spirit, we are dragging around so much crap. Let it go. Let it go. God, I give it to you. First thing you do in the morning, gift. God, I learned this from Pam and Peggy Jones from the book Sidetracked Home Executives. I don't know if it was in that book. I think it was in their second book. But it's God, gift. God, imagine, focus, and thanksgiving. So first thing you do in the morning, give it to God. God, I give it all to you. All my kids, all my worries, all everything, all my problems, all my everything. I give it to you. God, imagine what your day is going to be like. Jesus said we could have what we say, but we keep saying what we have. Look it up. It's when he talks about the mountain. Say to this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in thy heart, but shall believe in the things that you say shall come to pass. You shall have the things that you say. He kept saying it. You can have what you say. We keep saying what we have. So imagine your day. All right, this is what I imagine my day is going to be like. Take the second and give yourself that gift that you can have to imagine your day and to manifest your best life. Focus. What's your focus for the day? If you don't have a focus for the day, you need one. In Title Student University, now known as Title Student Masterclass, we have a focus for our day. Today is dedicated to this. Doesn't mean the whole day is to this. It means this portion of my day, I'm going to do this. This day, Monday's dedicated to this. Tuesday's dedicated to this. Wednesday. So what's my focus for the day so that nobody can pull you off? And then GIFT, thankfulness. Think of something to be thankful for. So start your day with God. Give it to him. Let it all go. And then dig in with courage. You know, there's another verse that says that in this world, we will have tribulation, but be of good courage. I have overcome the world. Jesus said that. We don't need courage if everything is right. When do you need to have courage if there's nothing to be afraid of? So being afraid isn't messed up. We're going to be afraid. It's hiding from the fear because it ain't going anywhere. It ain't going away. But if we can say, okay, I'm going to have courage here. I'm going to step in. You know how strong you are? Do you realize how strong you are? You think that this was Elijah. Okay. Elisha. I hope I said it right. You have to be a strong woman. What have you been through in your life? What have you done for your whole life? Who have you lost? What work have you accomplished? What regrets do you have? What have you let go of? Who have you loved? Who have you served? Don't sell yourself short. None of us should. It's a lie from hell that we can't handle what's coming across our path. Of course you can. It's the lie that we believe. And that's what you want to ask. That's the theophostic thing is I say, well, God, I'm afraid of this. And I talk to Jesus, Jesus, I'm afraid of this. And then where did this come from? And then, well, you know, it goes a little bit of a process. And then it's like, well, is that true? Well, this is the way I feel. I feel like no one will ever love me. Let's just say that. No one will ever love me. Is that true? Well, no, that's not true. Okay, do you want to continue to believe that lie? No, I don't want to continue to believe that lie. Will you heal me? Will you come in and fill up that space that where that used to fill, and will you fill it up with your love, with the balm of your love? Will you do that? And then just allow it to happen. It's amazing. It's a wonderful thing. So there you go. That's how you deal with papers, especially the emotional ones. If you're not part of my course, before we go out now, if you're not part of my course, please go ahead and get in there. And we have Insiders Group. We meet today, actually, at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. That is in another 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 5.5 hours. You'll be able to be in that call if you want to, and then you'll have all the resources that I have in our members area where we connect and where we support each other. And get this over with once and for all, because we've got a lot of life to live, and keeping up with all this crap is just stopping us from doing it. So you can go to my website, thetidytutor.com, and there's a drop down on in the menu where you can get into Insiders. Getting into Insiders will get you the masterclass automatically, and all of that stuff. Okay, all right. Mwah.